been a whole week and I still miss her so. I'm fucking with you. Hey man, acting school, 1 whole semester, bitch. I still got it. Welcome to the Breakup Chronicles Part 3. It's been a whole week. But more importantly, welcome back to Damo having fucking asthma. No, legal therapy. I think by now I probably have renamed all the videos the illegal therapy at the end of the title just because it's such a sick name. I love it because that's what it is. It's where I talk about shit that you don't give a fuck about, that I care a lot about, but then there's some kid out there who either just wants a friend to listen to rant to them, or, I don't know, make you feel less alone. Which is, boom, perfect segue into the topic today of being alone. Wow. I'm fucking excited to talk about this. I was thinking of so many different ways, like, how can I say it to you guys? Do I take you on this whole story of the thing that I did 2 days ago? Or do I just fucking talk? And it always comes down to actually fucking talk. But, man, I wish I could talk for an hour before my hype levels run out, because there's so much I want to talk about in this topic of just, I don't know, male loneliness, human loneliness, being alone. I notice I catch myself a lot when I say male something now, because all humans kind of feel emotion and different. Fuck it. Anyways, as you guys know, the biggest thing that I learned about myself recently, the reason I'm talking so hyped after I just got dumped like a week ago is not because I'm over it or anything. Like, it's still fucking sad for sure. It's just, you'll hear it as we get down the story, but I've come to a lot of realizations and acceptance recently. My one superpower is I have so much younger childhood hatred and childhood trauma that I go through phases of learning faster than the normal person because I'm just fucking retarded. So, anyways, one thing I learned from the breakup is, it's nice that I can say it now without getting emotional, but I notice I really have a deep fear of being alone. I sound like those speakers I used to rip on. I went over to Greg Doucette's house to film a collab video with him 4 months ago. If you don't know who he is, check him out. Talks like this! But he's one of my biggest like inspirations as a human being. Not even I don't give a fuck about his success or his money or his business stuff. Just the one thing I'm very drawn to him and a lot of people on the internet, especially the ones who are currently famous now, is authenticity. Is they are able to be very much themselves. That's not the topic of this video. So that's what drew me in. That was his call to action for me, whatever, his sales funnel. And he told me when I was hanging out with him that he is extremely lonely. I'm not saying this is like, you gotta listen to the video that I made on it to understand it more. It's not that bad, but he said to me, I'll never forget this. Off camera, he said, Damien, he's like, I have millions of dollars in the bank. I have a beautiful mansion. I have best friends. I have millions of followers. I have housekeepers that stay in my house from the minute I wake up to the minute I sleep. But the moment I have to turn everything off, when I go, actually I might even call him later in this video. I just had that thought. That'd be pretty cool if he picked up. But the moment I turn everything off at night, it's lonely going to bed by yourself with nothing but your own thoughts. And I think he just came out of a 10-year relationship, so it's even tougher for him. I mean, I've only been in it for like a year and a half. But it made me start to think back to my entire life, especially when technology became a play. So much more embarrassing now that I have a self-improvement channel. I can't even take a shit without bringing my phone, listening to a YouTube video or a podcast or music, or even fucking scrolling like a bitch on Instagram Reels, man. I can't do it. I can't go to sleep at night without watching my South Park analyzation videos or episode of South Park. Or, so, number one, like the worst, watching South Park, or an episode, or, analyzation video, or a podcast, or listening to a YouTube video, or listening to songs, or sleeping with a partner beside me. Sleeping with a partner beside me is the lowest amount of dopamine I can have before I sleep. And I guess I always thought of it like, actually the lowest is like maybe I would read a book or play guitar until I'm so tired I can't stay awake, and I just go to sleep. And on one hand, it's like, of course, that's good. It's good to have so much maybe not the watching the video stuff, but like the playing guitar and the reading the book. It's good to have so many things. Well, I'm gonna sound like a rap artist right now, but it's good to have so many things to do that exhaust your brain with good dopamine before you sleep. So then you're whatever. But there is one skill that makes me resent people that can do it. And also, I notice the people that can do this, I have a little bit of jealousy toward them, especially my mother. So my mom got divorced when I was 6 years old. And to this day, she loves herself. She has so many flaws as a human, and like, not to blame her, but it was a big contribution of the childhood stuff I went through. But one thing for certain about her that I have so much admiration and jealousy for is that she is so comfortable with herself. She loves herself so much that she would go out to restaurants by herself and eat. And you know what? Some of you guys watching are like, Damien, what the fuck are you complaining about? This is the most first world problem ever. Like, I live by myself. I can do all of this. Yeah, I bet you can. Great for you. I can't because I'm a bitch. And I think I really wanted to make this video because I think this topic is so relatable to so many guys our age. So many guys. Even fuck it, dude. Even my dad now. He's like virgin on almost 60. And he grew up fucking no phone and shit. But now he has to have company all the time. He can't be alone. Okay. So what did I do? Because I promised myself, this is a whole other topic, whole other fucking basket egg can of worms, but I'm trying to align what I do for work, making these videos, to things I love. For example, I used to make on this channel the scripted self-improvement ones that were basically a complete copy of all the other successful self-improvement guys. It was all their shit mixed into one. But then it didn't make me happy. I was like, one, I've always told other content creators that ask me for advice, like, don't copy Mr. Beast stuff because you'll never be Mr. Beast. You'll always be his second place. And it's the same with a lot of self-improvement guys that I see now, that I just see fucking clones of Iman Gotzi and clones of Hamza. I'm like, you're never gonna be better than them because they started it. They're the best. You're not gonna be better. So you have to hone into what you're good at and what you actually like. I preach it so much that I'm like, fuck, it's time for me to follow my own advice of, imagine if nobody was watching, what would you do? And for me, I took a long time to realize this. A lot of convincing from friends and getting over my own ego, but it's making videos like this. It's getting the 500 to 1,000 views, talking about bullshit, because these are the thoughts I'm going to have regardless when I'm driving home, or regardless when I talk to people. You could say I'm being lazy. Fuck yeah, I'm being lazy. But I like this. I can make these videos or some sort of style like this probably for the rest of my life to some degree because this is the realest me you will ever get. You're going to hear it when I'm scared of fucking up over my words. You're going to hear it when I fuck up a topic. You're going to see me cry, get emotional. You're going to see all the aspects of my life. Even right now when I'm pretty content and you're going to see it. And because it took me a lot of rewiring to go, I keep looking at myself because I kind of handsome right now. Anyways, it took me a lot of rewiring to go, if this channel never passes X amount of views, would I still do it? And I think the end of the day is yeah, because the value to me is so big just making the video. Like, even if I don't post these, it's therapy for me. That's just how I'm wired. Gotta stop saying that word so when I get canceled, you know. Anyways, because of that, I wanted to make YouTube videos. I want to make all my content to cater towards stuff that I like. And then I'll find the balance of, yeah, sometimes I have to pump it with a little bit more dopamine, especially on the shorts and stuff to get more views. Because, I don't want to put that much effort into those and have nobody watch it. Like, especially like the lifting edits. I've been making lifting edits almost every second day. I spend like 2 to 3 hours making an edit. Most of the time I don't even post it just because it's fun for me now. You guys might not get this, but to me that's huge. Having some work in my life that's actually fun. Because this is the dream job for so many people. But for so long, I hated it. 2-3 years, I hated making these videos, man. I was like, fuck this shit. Until now. Now, everything that I do, sometimes it's challenging for sure. But I genuinely am like, it feels like I'm a kid playing with toys. Like, I love making these. It's a self-expression. It's therapy for me. It's fucking sick. That's why this shit's called illegal therapy, bitch. Okay. So I wanted to make videos on that main channel that cater toward how I feel in the moment and honor how I feel. And I'm very proud of myself for being able to do this, because if you asked me to do one of these videos last year, no fucking chance. And I was like, what do I feel? I feel heartbroken. I feel depressed, sad, anxious, scared. Lonely. I feel lonely. I feel fucking lonely. And I want to show it. Because if I look back at my last breakup, I wish I got over some of my insecurities of having to be like this perfect type of man and showed more of me fucking crying in the dark and stuff. Because one, the comeback is going to be huge. If you saw that and then you see me bench 4 or 5, boom, fucking sick as shit. But also, it's relatable to people. The human emotion, it's like when I was younger, guys would go through breakups and divorce. And I'm like, what the fuck are you crying about? Are you kidding me? Like, you're a pussy. Like, you're gonna get another girl. That's just how life is. Like, until you go through it. You always make fun of other people's traumas and insecurities and downgrade them until you go through it. Now, I see the guy walking on the streets looking glum and sad, and I feel for him. I feel this connection, this empathy toward them. Anyways, while we are so off topic, I love it. That's just how I am. Let's go back to that shit and talk about the video that I made. I made this video where I was like, I want to challenge myself. None of that YouTube fucking, today we're going to see how long I can go in complete isolation for 72. No. I want to do a challenge that's actually like something I would actually do, even if the camera was off. And what it was just simply one day, 24 hours, being alone, fully alone. So I'm allowed my phone, but only for navigation and only for checking into this Airbnb that I rented because I have to sleep alone too, and I live with my mother. Damien, you make up to 6 figures a month and you still live with your mom. Suck my balls. Living with mommy is dope. I can't wait to move out. God. Anyways. Rented Airbnb. Booked a solo dinner for myself. This was on a whim. This was Tuesday and I booked it for Wednesday. I remember calling into my favorite steakhouse. And it's very therapeutic for me, this steakhouse, because it's called High Steakhouse in Vancouver. It's pretty damn good. It's very expensive. It's high-end $4 signs, but it was, when I was younger, I would see all the rich kids that I went to school with go like, oh, I'm going to Highs with my parents. And I'm like, whoa. Sure, my parents probably could have afforded that, but I don't know. I always told myself, like, I'm not going to go to the steakhouse until I can make the money to actually bring myself there. And then, so it was like the first like high-class place I ever brought myself, or like with my friends. When I called in, I was like, can I book a table? They're like, oh, for how many? I was like, 1. They were like, sorry, say that again. I was like, oh, yeah, for 1. A little embarrassing. But it's interesting how that is embarrassing, you know what I mean? It's interesting how in this world, eating a meal by yourself is looked down upon, especially in like Western society. So, wow, I'm rambling so much because I'm just excited. I'm excited about the story. It was cool. I learned so much. So at 8 a.m. in the morning, I set out on this journey. I did my normal morning routine, and mind you, I recorded everything, and I tried to not talk as much as I usually do to the camera. Tried to limit to each activity. I only get to talk for like maybe 3 or 4 minutes. And the first thing I noticed is like, wow, I'm so dependent on my phone. Like waking up without the blue light dopamine of Instagram Reels on my face is tough. It's tough. Like, not even that. Just to check my text, it was tough. My first thoughts were like, did my ex text me? Like, does she want me back? Did my boys text me? Like, what is going on? And I was like, holy shit, I'm gonna have to spend a whole day without this. And I know everything I'm saying sounds so first world privilege, which it is, but just hear me out. If this is something you do every day, just put your brain in the fantasy of being a little bitch like me who's reliant on technology and people, okay? The story will get good, hopefully. I go to the gym. I'm recording, so the only thing that's keeping my brain like a little alive is maybe sometimes I'll place a camera in a cool angle and I'll think it's dope. And I notice the gym was the only time I let myself listen to music because I was like, there's going to be music anyways in the gym. I might as well be that down bad guy with the headphones. One thing I'll say, topic for another video, is last time I went through a breakup, my workouts, every single workout for like fucking 4 months were absolutely out of hatred. It was like, I have to lift this weight to prove that I'm not a pussy, right? But now it's like, I'm doing the same shit, loving it just as much. It's a little bit tougher because I'll get thoughts of negativity and it'll stop me through, but it's an extra challenge to just push through, and it's great. I didn't start feeling the effects of this loomingness of by yourselfness. It was annoying that I couldn't check my phone for anything but the maps until I checked into my Airbnb. And it was in one of the most like, I don't want to say impoverished, it's not. One of the most crackhead-filled homeless place in my city. Like homeless people in tents everywhere. Like I literally see dudes smoking meth, shooting up crack, like in front of me. Right? Heroin needles everywhere. It's crazy. They need to fix up my fucking city, man. Like, someone help these homeless people. It's fucked. Our government's fucked. Anyways, a tangent there. That was like, I feel like that was the view of every Canadian who lives in Vancouver. They're like, fucking just fix this shit up. Come on, man. Where are our tax dollars going? We gotta help these people. That's more fucking, I have white privilege. God damn, that's crazy. So, I noticed first, like, the fear, the privileged Gen Z kid fear of holy shit, I might get stabbed, bro. But it was not only that, it was like, usually when I go into places like that, I'm not scared because I'm always with my boys. Or my girlfriend's with me and I'm there to protect her, to be the strong guy. No, I was just alone myself, driving my fake fancy car, feeling like a impoverished dick. Impoverished? No, that's not the right word. Oh, jeez. Privileged dick? Yeah. Check into the Airbnb and there's something poetic about such a modernly beautiful Airbnb. It was only $100 and something for the night, which is cheap for Vancouver. In one of the most run down, like drug addict filled places. Very poetic about that. But I check in and it's a nice, spacious apartment. And I'm by myself. That has never happened. I don't think I've ever in my life like lived in a house by myself like that. Like maybe for like a couple weeks on end because my mom will go away, but I always know she's gonna come back, right? And then the first thing I felt was like feeling so small in the world, you know? Literally like the doomer meme of men. What you would expect, like the guy wearing all black with a zip up hoodie and a beanie, smoking like a cigarette, like the Wojak meme, doomer guy, the feeling of gloom. Some fucking, what's that movie? Blade Runner shit, you know? Wow. This, like, heavy. It felt heavy as fuck to be there, just by myself. And especially because I had to like walk. I had to park my car like 5 minutes away. So, because I didn't want it to get broken into and like carry groceries. I'm carrying like fucking 50 pounds on me with like my backpacks and my cameras and shit. And I have to hide the cameras so I don't get fucking stabbed. And I'm carrying all my groceries. And a part of me also thinks like, dude, I'm so fucking privileged because like most people, this is their average life. Going to the grocery store by themselves and stuff and coming home by themselves and cooking a meal by themselves. That's like, most of you guys watching probably live a life like that. And you guys are cool with it. You guys are, are so happy with it. And that's awesome, dude. I wasn't. And what I noticed is I'm not okay being by myself because I'm kind of like scared of my own mind a little bit. The closest I can get to being by myself is like making these videos and driving without music. That's the closest I can get to being by myself, but I'm still doing something, right? So I sit there just feeling this. Not trying, like, what I've learned through meditation and therapy is like trying not to force anything. I'm not trying to force any sad emotion or anything, but I just let it sink. And one of the best things my therapist ever taught me was to, when you feel this heavy feeling of whatever it is in your life, instead of going, fuck, I hate this, because all that does is just going to prolong that feeling, you just deep breath and you go, it's here. Like you invite it in. Because when you invite things into your life, you don't attach so much hatred and negativity toward it and attach control. You know what I mean? You're not begging for it into your life, you're inviting it. Cool wing wong fucking fushu shit. Cook my own meal. That was fun because I'm making it for the camera. It was cool. But then first thing I noticed is the food tastes so much better. Because I usually watch something when I'm eating my food, right? I bet some of you guys are like, what the fuck are you talking about? But some of you are probably like, holy shit, I do these things. Like I watch like a TV show or something every single time I cook and eat. Couldn't do it this time. And I just had to sit there for like 10 minutes and eat this food. And just like sit in my thoughts and eat. And it tasted fucking beautiful. And it was just ramen noodles and chicken. It was great. And onions. Put the fork down. Clean the dishes. I don't think I've ever cleaned the dishes without some music going on or something. And I just feel the heaviness come back. And I notice the heaviness always comes when nothing to do, right? But that's like life. Like sometimes in life you gotta be okay with not doing something. And this is when I started having this thought. I'm like, one of the best quotes that my friend ever gave me, he was like, all these young boys, he's like, the dream of a boy is to become their heroes, like their David Goggins or their Arnolds. But the true dream of a man is to become himself. I was like, wow. And what that means is like we spend our whole lives resenting these parts of ourselves that through conditioning taught us that we weren't good enough, taught us that we're not enough. And instead of learning to accept those parts and maybe instead of not change them but improve on them, we resent them and we push them down, we stuff it down and we go, that guy's cool. I want to be like that guy. And then now we get caught in that thing that everyone's talking about, that matrix of being like somebody else, being like everybody else. And I truly do think it's true because I see a lot of older men who look healed, right? Who are really being themselves and being okay with who they are. That's so beautiful. And I just noticed in that moment, I was like, I'm not there yet. I'm on this journey, and that's something I've been really talking about so much in these videos recently, is being okay with being yourself. And I'm just not there yet, which is okay. But I sat in my thoughts. I remember like trying to take a nap. So embarrassing. I've literally never taken a nap. Not never, but in a long time I haven't taken a nap without something playing in the background. I wake up from the nap and I'm like, fuck, I have to go boxing now. And usually I'm so motivated to go train boxing and stuff, but I think the barrier of getting there, like having to walk out of the apartment to my car through the cold, but more importantly, feel the sadness and the loneliness, because I think downtown Vancouver is one of the loneliest places in maybe the whole country. It's like, it's one of the most population dense places. There's always people around you, but it feels like nobody actually cares. It's like how in LA, like nobody really cares who you are, that you're just a number to them, either financial or clout. It's the same in downtown Vancouver, but on top of that, we don't have a clout currency. People won't even fake it to you. So you really do feel this looming loneliness. And I remember trying to get up to go boxing, and I was like, holy shit, all I want right now is to check my phone. I know the little bit of dopamine from Instagram Reels will wake me up and get me to go. I was like, wow, I'm really dependent on this shit. That's crazy. I didn't even notice it. I preach it all the time because I guess I used to be so much more addicted, right? I used to be like 8 hours a day on my phone. That now, like, not even having that 3 hours, that 2 hours is really like, it's still a lot. Another thing I noticed is everybody has a cope. So it doesn't matter if for you it's the highest level of maybe like fucking crystal meth, or you're doing some pills, or you're an alcoholic, or you're a severe like nicotine addict like I was, or like a porn addict. It's like you can look at those top tier drugs, right? The ones that do major damage and be like, oh my God, that guy's so addicted. But there's some people like you and me, we still have these micro addictions that sure they don't have that much bad to us. Like it's not ripping my liver in half, but it's still, at the end of the day, whatever your cope is, whether it was triggered from some childhood trauma of like not feeling loved and you turn to porn, or you see mommy and daddy always smoke cigarettes when they're sad, so you go smoke some, whatever the fuck it is, the bottom line is that thing is just to make you escape yourself. Because it's very scary to be ourselves. And the thing is, you might be like, oh, maybe when I just get older, I'll be okay with it. No, man. Dude, my father, he's almost 60 years old. He's not okay with himself. He cannot look in the mirror and be okay by himself. Some men will never, some fucking people will just never be okay with themselves. And that sucks. And I will say, going through this journey of being okay with yourselves, it is tough. It is really tough to rewire your brain and look at all the things in the past and be like, I'm not actually a loser. I'm just a human. Or I don't have to be like Andrew Tate. I don't have to be like David Goggins. I'm I don't want to be like that as a man. I'm proud of who I am. I'm proud of the good little things in myself. It's so hard to not only start telling yourself that, but to start believing it and start repeating it and remind yourself when things get tough, especially when you go through something that triggers a deep wound inside of you. Like going through a breakup for me. Even if it was a healthy breakup, it still rips a piece of me out and goes like, it reopens this wound of when I was a child. Like, you're not good enough. People don't love you. You're a loser. You have to go overcompensate by becoming the best YouTuber, by having the most money. You got to go compensate for all these things. It makes your insecurities, your small ones, like Damo's small, tiny little cock, shine really big. Not in a good way, but you know what I mean? It's really hard, but trust me, once you do it, like, to this point now, it makes you feel so whole and so, like so fulfilled. Like, I've been through... This was a tough heartbreak to go through, man. Like, I love this woman with all my heart. I wanted to have children. I wanted to have marriage. I would have walked through fire for this girl. It gets me emotional thinking about it now. I would have sacrificed so much of my life, but instead of going, I lost her because I did this or because she was like this or whatever, it's just... I'm able to now tell myself that it would be tough if I never found a partner in my life. Of course it would be tough. I wouldn't want that. I would not want that, and I don't believe that's going to happen, but if it does, I will be okay. It's tough. And I learned this lesson in the next part. So I go boxing, right? I walk to my car, and there's this, before getting to my car, so much of this heavy pressure of just feeling sorry for myself, you know? And I think a lot of guys say never feel sorry for yourself. No, fuck it, man. I think when you resent feeling sorry for yourself and shit, that's where most of the problems lie. Don't resent how you feel about yourself. Just accept it and move on is the best. Yeah, whatever. We can talk about that for hours. Let's keep going. Get into the car, drive to boxing. Do my boxing. Nothing too special about that. It was fucking sick. I remember punching the bag, and the thing that fueled me wasn't, I hate my ex, I hate myself, I'm a loser. It was just, I love this shit. This is fucking dope. This is fun. And sure, I use a little bit of the heartbreak pain to condition my knuckles a bit, but I think that's where I want you guys to get to. I want my younger self to have gotten to faster. I really want people to get to the point where they can go through tough shit and not use it as bad fuel. Just accept it. And after the boxing was my biggest challenge. I was really scared to do this. Like, actually scared, but I had a meal by myself. And maybe I'll make a whole other video where I elaborate on this more. But I drive myself to that steakhouse. I walk in. I see one of the most gorgeous hostess I've ever seen in my life. Please pray to God she's over fucking 21. I have zero riz in my tank right now, boys. It's like last breakup, right after, like literally right after, I not only re-downloaded fucking Tinder and Hinge and shit, but that night I went to go hit on a waitress, on a hostess. Worked so well until I said something so stupid on text. That's a whole other story. That's really funny, but I can't. I don't think I can partake in any clapping of cheeks, any trying to get with chicks for a while, because I preach not to, so there's a pride in there, but also I know it's probably not going to end well. I've been in a really bad relationship before, and it makes me feel bad for the other person, and yeah, I don't think you should get into another relationship until you feel like you've actually accepted your breakup, which for me might be faster now. Anyways, hot hostess, she walks me in, she's like, "Oh, you're sitting alone today." Like, dude, yeah, I am, bro. And she picks up the other set of cutlery. That stung the heart a bit. I felt embarrassed. And I used to, as a kid, I used to get embarrassed about so much. I used to get embarrassed vlogging in public so much. Now it's a lot easier. Maybe just because I think I'm fucking sick. And I'm proud of my videos, I guess, now. But I was embarrassed this time to see her take away the second set of plates. Because everyone else in there was a whole happy family or like a couple and stuff. And this was some miracle of fucking God, man. This was some beautiful shit, this poetic shit. But I sit down and I look over and there's this short little like 60-year-old Asian lady. named Karen. The most beautiful soul in the world. And she was my waitress at this restaurant a couple times. Such a kind, down to earth. The video stopped because I yapped too much. Such a kind, down to earth person, and she was like, Damien, I haven't. Oh my gosh, like, did she remember my name? Doesn't matter. But she's like, I haven't seen you in a while. She's like, it's good to see you. Oh, she's like, why are you eating alone? And I was like, I'm just doing this challenge stuff. She's like, look, that's amazing. And I felt my heart, like, I don't say break it. I felt it melt, man. She's like, look, I do this actually quite a bit. She's like, I go out to eat a lot by myself, and I'm in a loving, happy, fucking like 40-year marriage. And she's like, I go to concerts by myself sometimes. She's like, it's really commendable that you're doing this. And I think hearing that from somebody, like, jerked off my ego like crazy. But also it made me feel so safe there, you know? It made me feel fucking so safe that somebody else wasn't looking down on me for it. It was so kind, man. I order some nice food for myself, a steak, to keep the macros going, and at first it was very embarrassing. I felt very anxious there, like, oh, what are people thinking about me? Am I just a fucking weird guy in the corner? But then I started digging into that steak. It was pretty good. And slowly but surely I started to just enjoy it. I started noticing I was just like laughing by myself, and I was just like, the taste of the steak and the decor in the restaurant, everything was louder than it normally is, and I was happy. And I cherished every single conversation with that waitress so much more. You know, it just felt like a happy grandma to me or something. Like that. Yeah, it was beautiful, you know. And on the way out, I remember just like walking with this like newfound confidence in myself. And I walked past the hostess, and she like, it looked like I'm probably reading into it. It looks like she wanted to strike up a conversation, you know, because we're probably around the same age, and I'm the youngest guy there, and everyone else there is like old as shit, and like, you know, like she sees me there a couple of times, so she's probably like, this guy's got no money. Let me go. No, just kidding. I just couldn't do it again. I was like, yeah, I'm not ready for this shit, bro. And I got in the car smiling, and then I started to drive. And maybe it was the crash from all that dopamine, but I felt the heaviest looming loneliness that I felt in a long ass time. And then just by miracle of nature, the song, like, Are You Lonely? That TikTok song, whatever the fuck, started playing in my car. Yeah, man, it was crazy. And I had to walk home, and I just kept listening to that song. And at first I felt that sorrow for myself, that sadness, that like, bro, probably my ex is out there like having the time of her life in her new job overseas, you know, and my friends are doing this, and I'm just, poor old me. But no, slowly it started to go from like, are you lonely, to like, yeah, I'm alone, and I'm okay with it. And that was a fucking feeling that I've never had in my life. Wow, I think we've just hit that this is the longest video on this channel. You're fucking welcome. I just cured your attention span there, if you're still listening. Go back into the Airbnb, and this is what I was even more scared of, was to sleep by myself. I've never done that, with no technology, no nothing. I take a shower by myself, whatever, no nothing, and yeah, I get into bed, and you know, I didn't feel it. I didn't feel scared. I thought I was going to. I didn't feel scared. I think, even though it was only 24 hours, actually by now only 12, I had lots of thoughts going on in my mind, which I was scared of, but I was okay with it. And the biggest conclusion I came to at the end was what we talked about in the last video of acceptance. Of, although I'm in denial and I don't want this breakup, I don't want to be alone for my life. I want to have people around me. I want friends. I want to keep making videos for people to get the validation. I want a wife who will treat me how I would treat her. I want somebody to love every single day. I want to wake up with beautiful kids who think I'm a good father. You know, I want these things. Yeah, I want a woman to die alongside with. I want a woman who will see me, who will pull me back when I go too far, who will encourage me to become my best self, who will fight for our relationship. I want a woman who will know that I'll do the same thing. I want someone who will be okay when I'm in my worst state, and I'll be okay when she's in hers. And I had all these thoughts, but then I accepted that that's not happening right now, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay that I got dumped. I'm okay it didn't work out. I'm okay with it never working out again. I don't want it, but it'll be okay. I'm okay that even if I never meet the person I want to spend the rest of my life with, that there will always be somebody to spend the rest of my life with. And that is the person in the mirror. And it is just my choice, your choice, to be okay spending the rest of your life with them. That's some poetic shit. All right. Thank you for listening to Illegal Therapy, part 1 billion. I think we're going to launch. I'll talk about this later. But, yeah. Love you guys. Yeah, you'll never be alone. There's the guy in the mirror. And there's this channel. Subscribe.